We will start with the Shanti Mantra on the first page. All of you chant together. Om Apyayanta Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrothram Athabalam Indriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam me astu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmaste Mayi Santu Te Mayi Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This Shanti Mantra, the first part is a prayer for strength and harmony in our personality. This personality is a very complex assemblage of many different things functioning together, somehow held together. Mind, body, gross body, subtle body. Subtle body, mind has so many functional components, memory components, logic component, which you call buddhi, chitta, where all the impressions are stored, ahankara, all those things. And the sense organs, 10 sense organs, they're all functioning together somehow. Any assemblage of more than one component is by law of nature bound to disintegrate into its components. Then only one thing remains, the basic constituent. That we'll examine today. What is that remains when all the things disintegrate? Names and forms, everything goes, what remains? That we'll explore today. So the prayer is, may all these parts of my body, mind function together, may be strong, prana, vital force. If the prana shakti is very weak, we cannot do anything. We cannot speak, we cannot walk, we cannot talk, we cannot do anything. So prana shakti has to be there. So that's why people do pranayama to become more, vitality will come. Vak, speech must be good. Vak prana, chakshu, hearing, seeing must be good. Shrotram, hearing must be good. Balam, strength must be there in the body. Indriyani cha sarvani, all sense organs must be functioning properly, nicely. So this is the prayer, otherwise you cannot achieve anything. Second part of this Shanti Mantra is Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. You can add idam, Sarvam idam, this whole universe is what? Brahma is Brahman itself. Described in the Upanishad, Upanishadam Brahma. In the Upanishads, Brahman is described. Ultimate reality is Brahman. That alone appears as the universe of names and forms. So when you transcend the names and forms, go deeper and deeper, you only see pure consciousness. All names and forms and qualities, good, bad, everything will disappear. Ocean of Ananda, Satchidananda. How to reach there? We have to understand that. That's it will come today. Now we are stuck at the multiplicity level. This is good, that is bad. Now I am happy, yesterday I was unhappy. Sometimes I am angry, sometimes I am peaceful. He did this, this happened, that happened. Pain, pleasure, anger, jealousy. Oh, we are stuck in this world of multiplicity. But if you go deeper and deeper, we encounter, these are all the waves. But the waves, surface level of the ocean of creation. And waves are always disturbance, turbulence is there. That's why we don't experience peace in our worldly life. If you go deeper and deeper in meditation, then what happens? As you go deeper into the ocean, there are no waves, there only calmness prevails. All these disturbances, turbulence will go away. That is where we want to go. That is Brahman, substratum, the foundation of all this creation, that pure consciousness. How to reach there, the Upanishad describes. May I not reject this. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. Nirakaranam means rejection. It's easy to say, oh, what is Upanishad? Some people wrote so many centuries ago. How can it be like that? We don't see any Brahman, we don't see any God. What is all this? We can say like that. We can dismiss that. But then we won't be able to achieve anything. We'll be stuck at the worldly level. But if you want to experience your true nature, which the Upanishad says is divine, then you have to accept it as a hypothesis, proceed on the basis that it is true, and do spiritual practice. And if it is not true, we'll know, we'll find out. Unless we travel, we'll be staying in the same place. So we want to see whether it is true or not. How do we know whether it is true or not? By practicing it. That is where faith comes in. The role of faith in spiritual life is like this. Give an example. Supposing you are traveling a long distance from, say, Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C. and somewhere you take an exit for a break, and then you go a little bit inside for a restaurant or a place, something, and afterwards you have to get back to the interstate, Pennsylvania Turnpike. But now you get lost and you don't know how to get back to the I-76 Turnpike. Then you see a gas station there. You go to the gas station, ask the gas station attendant, how do you get back to the turnpike? He will give some directions. He will say, go this way, make a right turn, go 1 mile, you will see a traffic light, you make a right turn, and you will see a sign for in turnpike. Now that's the instruction he gives. Now you have two choices. You can believe that his instructions are true and follow, and you will reach the turnpike. Or you can question, how do you know that that is the right? You may be giving wrong directions to me. If you doubt his direction, then you don't want to follow. You stay there in the gas station. So if you stay there doubting his instructions, you don't have faith in his instructions, and then you will be staying there. And if you follow his instructions, you reach your destination. So the rishis are saying, like the gas station attendant, all the rishis are like the people who give us direction. This is life, this is your true nature, you do this, you will reach there. That's what Upanishad, Gita, they are all saying, your true nature is divine, not the body and the mind. Your true nature is Ananda. If you want to experience it, do this, do this, do this, do this. Now we have two options. We can follow the instructions and reach the goal, or we bed out and stay where we are. That is why we have to accept this as a hypothesis. Maybe it is true. Let us check it out. Let us check it out. If it doesn't work, then we know it is not true. That's why we have to follow the instructions of the scriptures and the teachers. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam Me Astu. May there be no rejection of this truth. Now the last part of the prayer is Tadatmani Nirate Mayi. Mayi means in me, who is engaged in knowing that Atman, in knowing my divine nature. Ye Dharma Upanishatsu, those virtues which are described in the Upanishads, Te Sarve Dharma, May Santu, may all those virtues come to me. Because without virtues, if you are doing all kinds of bad things, you won't be able to realize God, reach our goal. We have to clean up our personality. What are the virtues? Truthfulness, Satyam, Arjavam, straightforwardness, strength, purity, all those virtues are described in the Upanishad, Gita, every place. Those we have to follow them, practice them. Then it will be, spiritual life will be smooth, without obstructions. And then Om Shanti 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 3 times, Adhyatmika Shanti, peace within, Adhibhautika Shanti, peace among all beings, Adhidayavika Shanti, peace in nature. That we discussed yesterday. Now today, we go to page 7. This is the biggest Upanishad. To study this, we need a couple of years and a more informed teacher. Now we are doing a small beginning. Go to page 7. This conversation between Yajnavalkya and Emperor Janaka. Yajnavalkya had discussions with all those people in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, so many people. So we go to one segment of page 7. Last passage, 431 at the bottom of the page. Janakam Avedeham Yajnavalkyo Jagama. Yajnavalkya goes to the emperor Janaka, who was the emperor of the Videha kingdom. Samene Navadishye iti. Yajnavalkya says, I am not going to say anything, let me see what Janaka says. Atha hayat Janakascha Vaideho Yajnavalkyascha Agnihotre Samudate. At one time in the past, these two people, Yajnavalkya and Janaka, had discussions about Agnihotra and some other topics, lot of different topics. In that in one such conversation, Yajnavalkyo Varam Dadau. Yajnavalkya had offered a boon to Janaka. Sa Kama Prashnameva Vavre. Janaka didn't ask for any boon at that time. He says, I will ask you some other question at some other time. That was his choice. He wanted an opportunity to ask some other question of Yajnavalkya at some other time. Tamha asmai dadav. Yajnavalkya, yeah, you can ask me another question either. And next time when we meet, you can ask me whatever you want to ask. That's how it last meeting ended. Dhamma samradiva purvam parpracha. So in this meeting, Samrad means Janaka. He asked the question. Earlier, Yajnavalkya had agreed, we asked the question, I will answer. This was the question, page 8. Janaka's question. Yajnavalkya kim jyotihi ayam purusha iti. Janaka asked, what serves as a light for man? Where is the source of light? For us now light is coming from sunlight. If it is cloudy or at night, then we have electric light. This light we experience. So Janaka replies, Yajnavalkya replies, Aditya Jyoti Samradi iti ha ovacha. Yajnavalkya replied, the light of the sun, emperor. It is by the light of the sun that he sits, goes out, works and comes back. Adityena eva ayam jyotisha, Adityena jyotisha, aste palyate karma kurite vipalyeti. People do all the activity, going, coming, eating, walking, talking, by the light of the sun. Evameva etad Yajnavalkya. It is indeed so, Yajnavalkya, Janaka said. Then Janaka asked one more question, follow-up question, 436. Atasmita aditye, astamite aditye, when sun sets, Yajnavalkya, Chandramasi astamite, when the moon also sets, Shante Agna, when the fire also was the source of light earlier, before electricity came. Shantav Agnav, when the fire also is put out. Shantayam Vachi, when speech also stops. Kim Jyotirevayam Purushaiti, then what serves as the light? Supposing there is darkness, let us say there is power outage sometimes, and then we are eating dinner. In the middle of the dinner, power goes out. And no moonlight also that night, Amavasya night. Then what happens? Speech serves as the light. We talk. We can hear, though we cannot see, we can hear. So hearing or speaking, that serves as the light for our activities. Like. Then Shantayam Vachi, when the speech also stops, Kim Jyotirevayam Purusha, what serves as the light for the human being? That was Janaka's question. Then Yajnavalkya replies, Atmaiva asya jyotir bhavati iti. The self serves as the light. Atmainaiva ayam jyotisha, Atmana eva jyotisha, ayam aste palyayate karma kurite vipalyeti. By the light of the Atman, inside light, inside our mind, Deep in your personality there is consciousness. That consciousness, light of the Atman, that guides us. When all the light fades, inner light, something with deep within us tells us what to do, what not to do. That is the light of the Atman, he says. Atmana eva ayam jyotisha asti. Light of the self. That he says. In that pure consciousness, this is a very interesting passage, 43:22. What is the nature of that inside light? What is that inside light, that consciousness that Yajnavalkya is talking about? The 43:22 is a very interesting passage. Atra pita apita bhavati. Father becomes non-father. Father does not exist. Mata amata, mother does not exist. Loka aloka, world does not exist. Worlds. Deva adeva, gods do not exist. Veda aveda, scriptures do not exist. Atra steno asteno bhavati. Thief becomes a non-thief. I'll explain how to understand this as much as I can. Brunaha abrunaha, chandalo achandalaha, Paulkaso, Apaulkasaha, the definition are given in the bottom. No. Sramana means a monk, Buddhist monk. Tapaso, Atapasa, ascetic becomes a non-ascetic. Ananvagatam punyena, ananvagatam papena. A person remains unaffected by punya and papa, good deed, by all good, bad will go away. All distinction will vanish. Tirno itada sarvan shokan hridayasya bhavati. Then one is beyond all grief. What does it mean? In the ocean, all the waves are there, turbulent waves at the top, at the surface of the ocean. That's where our life is right now. Right now, this moment, we are living at the waves level. What are the waves? Disturbances in our mind. Sometimes I am angry, sometimes I am peaceful, sometimes I am sad, sometimes I am good, I do good deeds, sometimes I do bad deeds. Other people, good people, bad people, good and bad, problems at home and family and health problem, finance. So all these things are disturbing my life right now. Waves. Now, all these disturbances are there in worldly life. Vedanta says that if you go deeper into your personality, all these disturbances will become less and less and less. And if you go to the deepest level, at the substratum of your personality, at the deepest level, only an ocean of pure consciousness, no waves, no disturbance, no happiness, no unhappiness, no anger, no fear, no hatred, no good man, no bad man, no vice, no virtue. And all distinctions will vanish. All disturbances will go away. All diversity becomes unified. Only what remains? Ocean of pure consciousness. How is it possible? Let us understand how all the differences which are disturbing us now, how will they go away? How can I have an ocean of pure peace when I am disturbed and I am only feeling disturbance in my life? This is like this. Let us look around in this room. What do you see? So many objects. This board is there, this speaker is there, the deity is there, image of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother photo, Swamiji photo, walls are there, floor is there, staircase is there, roof is there, other people are sitting here. All full of names and forms, different objects. Disparate objects, that's what we are watching. Now, what are these objects made up of? If you analyze what happens, physics, chemistry tell us everything is made up of molecules. Molecules are made up of atoms. What are atoms are made up of? Supposing this personality, if you take this man sitting here, this body, then if you go deeper, what happens? All these cells are there. The cells are contain molecules. Molecules are made up of. Are you seeing the molecules? No, you are seeing the gross form only. But what are you actually seeing? You are seeing the molecules and atom. This cup of water is there. You are seeing the water, but what is water made up of? It's made up of hydrogen, oxygen, H2O. Hydrogen elements, oxygen atoms are there. But you see the combination, you don't see the constituents. But really constituents is what is there. Names and forms, if you go deeper, is only atom. And if you break the atom, what happens? Subatomic particles. Nucleus, proton, electrons building around the nucleus. Then what are the subatomic particles? Now there is, physicists say, sometimes they behave like waves, sometimes like corpuscles, and it all results into energy, all ocean of energy. Go deeper and deeper. Right now it is what is, right? Right now I am made up of cells, and cells are made up of molecules and atoms. If I go deeper and deeper, examine myself or this cup of water, what do we see? Only atoms, subatomic particles. Even if you go deeper, energy. If you go deeper, what happens? At the deepest level, Vedanta says it's all pure consciousness. No name, no form, no good, no bad, no distinction, no quality, nothing. That's what it truly is right now. But we are not seeing that. We are seeing the surface level, names and forms, good, bad, man, woman, child, adult, American, Indian. All these distinctions we are seeing. So Vedanta takes us to the deepest level of our existence, transcending all the distinctions of name and form, good and bad, qualities, everything. What remains? Ocean of pure consciousness. Now, has anybody seen this one, this ocean? Sri Ramakrishna saw that one. Many sages have seen that one. When he saw that one, what did he actually see? I'll read a passage, his experience. He describes it in his own words. When you go deeper, transcending the level of differences, people, good, bad, pain, pleasure, happiness, unhappiness, loss and gain, if you go deeper and deeper and deeper, what do you see? All the distinctions are disappeared. No father, no mother, no wife, no husband, no child, no father. Oh, no good, no bad, no pain, no pleasure. Go deeper and deeper. What do you see? Absolute peace, no waves, no disturbance, absolute calmness, absolute pure consciousness. That's what we truly are. Even now we are that. We are not seeing that. We are seeing the surface level. Let us see how we experienced it. What does he say about it? This is on page 345. You can do this in meditation. 345. Okay? No, wrong page. After realizing God, one sees that it is God Himself who has become the universe and all living beings. He uses the word God, but it is in Vedanta it is called Brahmarupananda. In Bhakti we call the name God. The Divine Mother revealed to me in the Kali temple that it was she who had become everything. She showed me that everything was full of consciousness. The image was consciousness, Kali image was there. In the Bhavatarani image in the Dakshineshwar temple, if you have seen, the image was consciousness. The door sill was consciousness. The marble floor was consciousness. All was consciousness. I found everything inside the room, soaked as it were in bliss, Ananda, the bliss of Satchidananda. I saw a wicked man in front of the Kali temple, but in him also I saw the power of the Divine Mother vibrating. Wicked person, good person, saintly person, all people, all names and forms will disappear, only pure consciousness. That's what we are made up of. We are that even now. This moment we are that, Satchidananda. That's what he saw. I saw a wicked man in front of the Kali temple, but in him also I saw the power of the Divine Mother vibrating. That was why I fed a cat with the food that was to be offered to the Divine Mother. A cat comes there when he was doing this, having this mystic vision. Cat also appears same pure consciousness. Cat body, human body, animal body, male body, female body, or tree or plant or sun or star or moon or earth, all only pure consciousness. Go to the most basic ingredient. We are made up of pure consciousness. We are that now. But you are seeing the surface view, names and forms, good and bad. That was why I fed a cat with the food that was to be offered to the Divine Mother. I clearly perceived that the Divine Mother herself had become everything, even the cat. What he calls Divine Mother is same as Brahman. On another, in a different place in the Gospel, several places he says, Divine Mother, Kali, Brahman are all one and the same, different perspectives. The manager of the temple garden wrote to Mathur Babu saying that I was feeding the cat with the offering intended for the Divine Mother. But Mathur Babu had insight into the state of my mind. He wrote back to the manager, let him go, let him do whatever he likes. You must not say anything to him. After realizing God, one sees all this aright, that it is He who has become the universe, living beings, and the 24 cosmic principles. But what remains when God completely effaces the ego cannot be described in words. So all these things that we are perceiving now with the sense organs, this is the view we get with the sense organ. When you see with our eyes, this you see it as a pen, you see it as a phone, you see it as a glass of water. But the sense organ, that's all they can reveal. They reveal the surface view only. That's the limitation of our sense organs. I can only hear, I can only see this much, ear can only hear that much. You cannot hear all these sounds, only certain fragment of this spectrum you can hear with our ears. Animals can hear some other parts which we cannot hear. The limitations of sense, our senses which are through which we see the world, reveals only the surface view. But our mind can reveal the deeper view. If you go close your eyes and close your ears and go deep into the mind in meditation, you can go deeper. And you can go still deeper, you can go still deeper. Transcending in names and forms and good and bad, everything. Then you go to the deepest level in Samadhi. That's what in Samadhi. Those who have Samadhi, they can tell. In Samadhi what happens? All this surface view will go away. Only the basics. Pure consciousness is, there is no distinction, there is no you and me there. At this level you and me, we are separate people sitting here, right? But if this whole thing is an ocean of atoms and molecules, space also has consciousness. This pervaded space also. Akasha also has space. In Akasha also consciousness is there. Ocean of consciousness. There is no separation, there is no you and me. There is no he or she. There is no good and bad. There is no pain and pleasure. Total absence of all distinctions, all diversity, everything will go away. That is the view that Sri Ramakrishna had. That's the view that Upanishad, the Yajnavalkya described to Janaka. Absence of any distinction at all. Here, going back to this passage, he says, 4332, Atra Pita Apita, there is no father. At this level, father, mother, children, parents, there. But if you go to the deeper level, all these things will merge, only pure consciousness. Atra steno astena bhavati. Stena means thief. Thief and good person, bad person, saintly person, all at this surface level, waves level. Go deeper and deeper into the ocean, only pure consciousness at the deepest level. All diversity merges into unity in Atman. That is an interesting passage. Now another interesting passage comes. At that level, Sachidananda they call in the scriptures, only pure bliss remains. Worldly happiness is qualified happiness. If conditional happiness, I am happy if everything is okay in my life. If something is wrong, then I cannot be happy. I am happy if I am in good health, if I have everything that I need or I think I need, if nobody is bothering me, nothing is bothering me, then I am happy. But one of these things is not, condition is not, but then I am not happy. Conditional happiness, conditional peace. But at that level, total unconditional. There is no other, there is nobody to bother me. There is nobody to be bothered. No subject, no object. But who is bothering whom? Only pure consciousness. Then that is total. That kind of pure happiness is described here in 4.3.33 on page 9. This similar passage, a very similar passage comes in Taittiriya Upanishad, Anandam. Mimamsa, almost same words. It comes in Brihadaranyaka also. Sayo have manushyanam radha samriddho bhavati. Radha means physically perfect person. Yajnavalkya continues his instruction. O Emperor, he who is physically perfect and wealthy, the rulers of others, Anyesham adipatihi, sarvaihi manushikaihi bhogaihi sampannatamaha, and he is endowed with all human enjoyments. Any kind of enjoyment that you want, that person has. The whole world's wealth is in his command. Nobody is bothering him. He is very strong physically, good health, youthful, good looking, strong, endowed with the entire world's wealth. Such a person. If such a person does exist, how much happiness can he get? That is 1 unit of human happiness. Says, Sa manushyanam parama ananda. Maximum happiness you can get when nobody is bothering you, when you have everything you want, nothing else is lacking, you are in good health, nothing, no problem at all. And everything is available, whole world's wealth is there. Then you can be happy. A hypothetical person you imagine like that. There is no such person really. Everybody has limitations. If such a person does exist, the happiness that such a person can get can be termed as 1 unit of human happiness. So manushyanam parama ananda. Now multiply this by 100 times. Atayeshatan manushyanam ananda. 100 times the happiness for an ideal person, hypothetical person. Sayeka pitrunam jitalokanam ananda. Those who go to Pitraloka having done good deeds, their enjoyment is 100 times enjoyment of a perfect human being who has everything. So it's 100 times more. Atayeshatan pitrunam jitalokanam ananda. Multiply the Pitralokananda by 100 times. Sayako Gandharvaloka ananda. Now go to higher Gandharvaloka. Gandharvas are there. Their happiness is 100 times the happiness of those who live in Pitraloka. Their happiness 100 times happiness of those who live in Manushya-loka, ideal Manushya. Like this it goes on by multiplying everything by 10 to the power of 2. Atayeshatam Gandharvaloka ananda. 100 times the type of 100 times the happiness of Gandharvas. Sayeka Karmadevanam ananda. Devatas are of 2 categories. Karma Devatas, those who have become gods by doing good deeds. And those who have become gods by birth, those are higher. So here it says 100 times the happiness of Gandharvas is 1 unit of happiness of the Karma Devas, those who have become Devas by doing good karma. Ye karmana devatmami sampadjante atayeshatam karma devanam ananda. Multiply karma devas ananda by 100. Sayeka ajana devanam ananda. That becomes 1 unit of happiness of the gods who have become gods by birth, not by deeds. Higher. Yascha srotriya origino akamahataha. The same kind of happiness can be experienced by a person who is a srotriya, origino akamata. Akamata is a very important term. You have to understand what is akamata means. Srotriya means one who knows the essence of all the scriptures, Shruti. Original means one who is pure, blemish, no blemish, sinless, no defect in the character. In every way is a perfect person, original, free from blemishes, personality blemishes. Akamahata means, kama means desire. As long as a person has any kind of desire, even for desire for realization, desire for moksha also a desire. Any desire means a person is not perfect. If you have any desire at all, that means you are already departed from your pristine, perfect state. You are less than being perfect. Desire means imperfection. What is desire? Desire is a state of mind where a person feels some emptiness in his life. That is desire. This thing is lacking in me. If that thing is supplied, I'll be happier. That is the state of mind of a person who has desire. It may be money, it may be a child. Somebody who doesn't have a child wants to have a child. That if I only get one child, I'll be very happy. My life will be better, fuller. I'll be happier. Or a person may be wanting to have a wife or a husband. If I only can get the unmarried relationship, I'll be happier. That's missing right now. That is desire. The moment you desire, maybe the highest kind of desire, highest desire is desire for liberation. If a person desires for liberation, not for ordinary things, one who desires liberation, moksha, mumukshu, he is also imperfect because he does not have liberation. Only when a person is liberated, when he knows his true self, then there is no desire. Such a state of desirelessness is absolute anand. Anything other than that, even the slightest desire, means lack of ananda, no joy. Something is bothering him. If a person has everything, doesn't want anything more, but he wants only one thing, he wants to know God. I want to realize God. That desire is bothering him. So what is lacking in his life? God realization is lacking. So that lack means that he is not happy. He is struggling to realize God. When he realizes God, what happens? He has reached, fulfilled all desires. Then there is no desire. What more is there to desire? You have reached the highest. That state is total state of pure happiness. Desirelessness means pure happiness. Desire means unhappiness. Akamahata means a person who is not afflicted by any desire. By kama he is not afflicted. That means no desire. Such a person is the happiest person. And then this continues, the ladder continues. Atayeshatam adana devanamananda. 100 times the happiness of God's way before, God's by birth. Sayeka prajapati loka ananda. Prajapati's ananda is one unit. That is 100 times the happiness of God's way become God's by birth. Atayeshatam prajapati loka ananda. 100 times the happiness of Prajapati. Sayeko Brahmaloka Ananda. Those who go to Brahmaloka, highest is Brahmaloka. After Brahmaloka, only liberation. Brahmaloka Ananda is 100 times the happiness of Prajapati Ananda. Yascha Srotya Vijno Kamat. A person who has no desire enjoys that kind of happiness. Nothing bothers that, but no desire. Fully satisfied. Absolutely calm and peaceful. No disturbance in persons. Such a state of mind is what we have to achieve. Atesha eva parama ananda. Yesha brahmaloka samraditi savacha Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya says 100, this Gandharva everything we are over. Next page. 100 measures of the joy of the gods by birth equal 1 measure of the joy of the world of Prajapati Viraj. As also for one who is erudite in the Vedas, taintless, unaffected by desire, kamata. Then it continues, 100 measures of the joy in the world of Prajapati equal 1 measure of joy in the world of Brahmaloka, highest, that we can reach. Gita says, of all the lokas, Brahmaloka is the highest loka. If you go there, then you don't have to come back. If you go to any other loka, you have to come back. If you go to Indraloka, Chandraloka, some other heaven, you have to come back when the punya is exhausted. Kshine punya matiloka mishanti, 9th chapter of the Gita. If you go to Brahmaloka, then you don't have to, you can go to liberation from there. Or you can come back, you have got the option there. There is no option for lower lokas, you have to come back. When you go to Brahmaloka, you have the option to go to merge with Brahman, liberation, no coming back, or you can come back if you have still samskaras to be wiped out. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartyanorjana mamopettu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. When you go to Brahma loka, you can merge in Brahman, from there, liberation, no coming back. But until then, if you go to any other loka, punaravartinaha, you have to come back to the Manushya loka and start again from square one. It is like that board game, snake and ladders. Paramapada sopana patamu. If you hit a ladder and you go to the top, next time you will only dice. If you hit a snake, you will come back to the square one. But Brahmaloka, if you reach, then only you cannot come back from there. So then he said, Yajnavalkya, hereafter, this indeed is a supreme bliss. This is the world state, that is Brahman. There no all distinctions vanish. No he or she, no pain or pleasure, no gain or loss. All pure consciousness, ocean of Satchidananda. That is our true nature now. But we are not experiencing it. Because we are at the surface level, bothered by all these things that happen around us in our lives. He did this, this was to be like that. It's not like that. I don't have that, she has that one. All these things are bothering us. So Upanishad says, this is not your true nature. You are not this. You think you are this. Body mind. Body mind is subject to all kinds of problems. This one is made of matter. Mind is also fine matter in Vedanta. Changes, qualities are there, gunas are there. So this is not what you truly are. You are that Satchidananda. Tattvamasi Upanishad says. You are that, even now. That's the truth. And if you don't realize that, spend all your lifetime at this surface level, good and bad, pain, pleasure, he did this, this happened, that happened, oh, death will come. That is not our true nature. Upanishad says, wake up. Uttishtata, Jagrata. Go to that goal, enjoy. You are that right now. This moment you are that. Tattvamasi. Chandogya says you are that. That is the eternal call for eternal joy and peace and happiness. That's why Upanishads are held in great esteem by all the sages. At this, Yajnavalkya was afraid, thinking, Now we go to the one more topic and then we'll have some time for questions. It's on page 10. One message, 3 lessons. This is a kind of allegorical story. 5 to 1 on page 10. One message, 3 lessons. Trayaha prajapatyaha prajapatau pitari brahmacharyam ushuhu. 3 people go to Prajapati and stay with Prajapati practicing brahmacharya. 3 kinds of Prajapati sons, the gods, humans and demons, lived with their father Prajapati as students practicing continence, brahmacharya, ushu. Deva, Manushya, Asura, gods, people, human beings, Asura means demons. Ushitva, having lived as brahmacharis with Prajapati, Ushitva brahmacharyam deva uchu, gods ask this question. Bravituna bhavaniti, please teach us. Gods ask Prajapati, sir, please teach us. They were served as brahmacharis, disciplined life in the home of Prajapati. Then they seek knowledge. Please teach us something. Tebhyo ha etad aksharamavacha da iti. Prajapati said only one letter. Said da. This is teaching. If you come and if you give a lecture, if you simply say da, what will you make out of it? So Prajapati simply said da, didn't say anything else. Sa Tebhyo sa etad aksharamavacha da iti. Da, he said, Prajapati. To whom? To gods. Yajnasishta iti. Did you understand? I have to say the Prajapati asked the gods, did you understand what I said? He says only the, and that's all, that's the instruction. Did you understand? Yes. Yajnasishta, Yajnasishmeti uchahu. God said, yes, we understood. What did you understand? I simply said, what did you understand? Dev damyata iti na atheti. You told us to practice self-control, dhamma. You told da means they understood. Gods interpreted da is a short form, abbreviation for dhamma. Gods understood da as the abbreviation for dhamma. Dhamma means self-control. It's written there. Why did they understand the self-control? Because gods have desire for enjoyment, karma. People also have, gods have no. Gods live in the heavens, Indraloka, etc. They are enjoying there. They don't have any problems that human beings have. The Swarga is a place for enjoyment, where you go, where we go. If you have done good deeds, you enjoy the fruits of our good deeds. Only happiness there. They don't have to go to work every day in Swarga. All food will be provided, 24 hours. All ethnic food will be available. Dance and music, Menaka Ramba will be there. This is what some people believe. If you go to heaven, 72 women will be waiting there for you to serve like that. Some people believe. See, that is desire for enjoyment. God said. So they interpreted the as He's asking us to practice self-control, Dhamma. Did you understand? Yes, you meant Dhamma, didn't you? Yes, sir. Om iti what? Yeah, Om means yes, you understood properly. Prajapati said, yes, you understood, you have to practice Dhamma. He told gods. Now what happens? Second disciple goes, Hataha enam manushya uchuhu. After gods go, human beings, one human being goes to Prajapati, Bravituna Bhavanti, please teach us. Same question. After practicing Brahmacharya, human beings ask Prajapati, Tebhyoha etadeva aksharam vacha daiti. Same thing he said that to people also. Then he says, Yajnasishta, did you understand? He says that, and then he asked, did you understand what I meant? Yajnasishma iti havuchu. Yes sir, we understood. What did you understand? Datteti na atteti. You told us to practice dana. Datta means give. We asked us to practice dana, charity. Why they understood like that one? Gods understood as Dhamma, self-control, because they were bothered by the kama, desire for enjoyment. People understood as dana because they have this greed accumulating things. More and more money. People have a lot of greed. No matter how much money a person has, no satisfaction at all. More and more money. They do all kinds of adharmic things to gain more money. That is human nature, among other weaknesses. So they understood as dana. You have to practice charity. Yes, you understood rightly. Homiti hovacha. Yajnasishte. You understood properly. He said. Prajapati says. Now, the third disciple goes. This on 523 on page 11. Hata enam asura uchuhu. Asura demons go to Prajapati. Bravituna bhavaniti. Please teach us something. Tebhyo ha etadeva aksharmuvacha daiti. Same instruction, da he says. The teacher's job is very easy. Say da and then teaching is done. He cannot get away with that in other life. Prajapati, da iti. Did you understand? Yajnasishta iti. Yajnasishma iti savucho. Yes sir, we understood. Demons also say. What did you understand? Dayadvam itina attiti. You told us to practice daya. Daya means compassion. Because asuras have this weakness of anger and cruelty. They will kill their enemies. There are some people, asura need not be they can be in human body also. In human bodies you can see God-like people, you can see people, human-like people, you can see demon-like people. They are also human body only. Don't have to have different bodies. Among human beings you see God-like people, you see demon-like people. What do? They kill people who disagree with them. This is the way. If you don't agree with me, I am going to kill you. Such kind of people also exist. So the asura, they understood. What did they understand? Dayadvam. You told us to practice daya, compassion. So these are the three abstractions. Kama and lobha and krodha. Kama is a problem, desire for enjoyment, that lands people in all kinds of bad difficulties. To fulfill the kama, people do all kinds of adharmic deeds to fulfill their desire for enjoyment, sensory enjoyment. You don't have to mention example. You can see that in daily news. That lands them in trouble. So kama has to be controlled, self-control, atma vinigraha. In the Bhagavad Gita, many places Sri Krishna emphasizes atma vinigraha, self-control. In the Kathopanishad, Self-control is explained in this way. There is a nice imagery given by Yama to Nachiketa. This human personality is compared to a chariot. Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Ratamevatu. Shariram means this body. This Ratha is a chariot. This body is a vehicle for us to move forward to our destination, which is our true nature, Atmajnana. This is a chariot. In this chariot, who is the Sarathi? Buddhim Tasarathim Vidhi. Mind means intellect, is the Buddhi. Guides our life. Do this, don't do this. This is right, this is wrong. Buddhi tells us. The faculty in our mind which helps us to determine what is right, what is wrong, what is to be done, what is not to be done is the intellectual faculty, thinking faculty, discerning faculty. If that is not right, then we end up doing wrong things. What is right, some people think it is wrong. What is good, some people think it is right, it is bad. Ulta, viprita buddhi, we say. So buddhi has to be right. Sairam tamevatu manah pragrahamevacha. Buddhi tells the mind, manas, to control the sense organs. Buddhi says to mind, tell the eyes not to look that way. All kinds of movies are there and computers can see all kinds of good and bad things. Something very bad is there, Buddhi tells the mind. Mind controls the eyes, don't look at that. Change the scene. Look at something which is ennobling, uplifting, which is beneficial, don't look at it. That faculty is the Buddhi. The mind controls the sense organs. The sense organs like Indriyani Hayana, Indriyas are the Haya means horse. 10 horses are there. This chariot is pulled by 10 horses. If all the horses are trained properly, controlled by the mind, which is directed by the Buddhi, Buddhi gives the direction, mind controls sense organs. If that is such a situation, passenger is the Atman, the Jivatma. He goes to the proper destination. That means we reach God, we reach realization. We reach realization, which is our goal. When the 10 sense organs are controlled by the properly trained mind, which is directed by the Sattvic Buddhi, then the passenger goes to the destination safely. Otherwise, what happens? If the Buddhi is perverted, what is the concern a person cannot tell? Such a person, his mind he cannot control his sense organs. Eye will go somewhere else, see something, feet will go someplace where we should not go. Hands will do something we should not do. Our tongue will say something we should not say. These are untrained horses. Why if you take 10 wild horses and tie them to a chariot, where will the chariot go? All the horses will pull in different directions. Destination is disaster. That we don't want. So Upanishad says, Buddhi should be sattvic, mind should be properly trained to control sense organs. Sense organs must be properly controlled. Atma vinigraha. That's why it says this Dhamma. Dhamma means controlling sense organs and the mind. If that is not done, if the horses are not properly trained, the charioteer is not able to give proper direction, Buddhi is perverted, viparita buddhi, then the passenger Jivatma ends up in disaster. That we should not allow it to happen. That is why the 3 instructions are given. The 3 problems which affect us, which are obstructions in our spiritual life, 3 obstructions in spiritual life are in chapter 16, Shloka 21 in the Gita. It is written there. There, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says there are 3 enemies. Here these 3 enemies are gateways to heaven. Gateways to hell, place of suffering. One is Kama, one is Krodha, another is Lobha. These 3 obstructions are big obstructions in your spiritual life. That's why these 3 instructions are given. Control your sense organs, Dhamma, and do charity. You have greed, Lobha should be given up. And you have anger, practice compassion. These are the 3 instructions given in this. That's it. So the conclusion is 5 to 3. Om iti hovacha tadetat evaisha devi vavana vadati staniyirduhu dadada iti damyata datta dayadvam iti tadetat trayam shikshe damam danam dayamiti. The sloka is Gita 16 chapter 21st sloka. It says Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nasanamatmanaha kamaha krodha tatha lobha tasmad etatrayam tyajet. Narakasya Trividam dvaram. For Naraka, place of suffering, it can be right here. Don't have to go to some other Naraka loka. Right here is Naraka. So everything is here. Trividam Narakasya dvaram. Dvaram means door. 3 doors. That means 3 ways in which we can get into trouble. What are they? Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. Uncontrolled anger and uncontrolled Lobha, greed and desire, uncontrolled desire. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. If you don't control them, then we'll end up in disaster. Tasmad ita trayam tyajet. These 3 things we have to give up. Practice self-control, practice charity, and practice compassion. Daya for all beings, including inanimate beings. Compassion towards human beings, animals, plants, and nature, inanimate objects also. We can cause himsa to inanimate objects also. Though they are not able to speak, plants we can cause injury to them. If you stand in front of a plant and yell all kind of obscenities, you can see it reacts. Biologists say plants also have feelings. Animals have feelings. If there is a dog, if you go and stand in front of the dog and yell at it, the dog will feel the pain. It may not be able to express in the way we understand, but feels the pain. People feel the effect of our actions. So compassion towards all beings. How inanimate objects we should be compassionate towards inanimate objects for the nature, earth, air, water. People thoughtlessly cause pollution, land pollution, air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. It's all crime against nature. Putting litter everywhere. Children are properly trying to put trash in the trash can. They throw everything everywhere. Even now it is unfortunately a situation in India, people don't know where to put things. They throw everything in the street. Swachh Bharat, the Prime Minister Modi is doing something, but how much one person, people have to realize that they should not put litter in the street. When we put litter in the street, we are causing injury to Mother Earth. It's crime against nature. It's cruelty towards nature. We don't realize that one. These are not made explicit in the Upanishad. It only gives the basic principles, but you have to extend them to apply them in our daily lives. So we have to practice compassion. Dhamma, Dana, and Daya, 3 things. Teachings of Prajapati. Okay? Now, if you have any questions from yesterday's portion we covered, or something we studied today, we can discuss that. How much time we have? What's the time now? Half an hour? Otherwise we can do some other passage. Some other passage? If there are no questions, it means one of 2 things. Either the job was so useless, hopeless that there's nothing, no use asking anything.
Or everybody's always
Let's find something. Okay, this Gargi was one of the greatest Vedantists, Brahmavadinis. They used to call it Brahmavadinis those days, women. All these other restrictions came later, I don't know, unfortunately why they came. Even now some people say women should not chant Vedic mantras, they should not chant Gayatri like this, some people believe. There is no basis for that in Upanishads. They all came later, I don't know why they came, how they came, when But there is no such restriction on women in the Upanishadic time. Women were Brahmavadinis, no one was a Brahman. So Gargi was one of them. Watch it, maybe Gargi. So there is a conversation between Yajnavalkya and Gargi on page 3. Yajnavalkya and Gargi conversation. 383. Then we will skip the first 2-3 passages. I'll read the English translation. 383. Gargi said, Yajnavalkya, what pervades that sutra which they say is above heaven and below earth, which is heaven and earth as well as between them, and which was, is and will be, Otam cha protam cha. What pervades this whole universe? What is the basic thing? We see names and forms and qualities, but what is the basic thing that pervades the entire universe? That was the question. Go to the very foundation of creation, existence. Sahovacha Yadurabham, Yajnavalkya said 384. Gargi, the unmanifested ether space pervades that which they say is above heaven and below the earth, which is heaven and earth as well as between them, and which was, is and will be. Transcending all limitations of space and time, only pure consciousness pervades. I'm skipping the details because I want to get the passage of 388. This very interesting passage. Sahovacha, Namaste to Yajnavalkya. Sahovacha, she said, Yajnavalkya, salutations to you. Yoma edam vyavocha. You have answered this question of mine. Aparasmai dharayasva. Here is another question for you. Get ready for another question. Yet she says, Yajnavalkya says, dharayasva iti. Pricha Gargi iti. Alright. Pricha means ask me. Sahovacha, Gargi said, Yajnavalkya, what pervades that which they say is above heaven and below earth, which is heaven and earth as well as between them, which was, is and will be. Then Yajnavalkya said 387, O Gargi, the unmanifested ether space pervades that which is above heaven and below the earth, which is heaven and earth as well as between them, and which was, is and will be. Gargi asks, what pervades the unmanifested space? She goes on digging deeper and deeper, not satisfied with the superficial answer. Supposing I say, what is in this room? You make a list of things in this room. This board is there, the floor is there, that laptop is there. You can make a list of things that we see. But if I say, what is there in all these things, then you say they're all made up of different kinds of elements and compounds, chemistry, something you can say. Then if I did, what are all those things made up of? That's what Gargi said, what is that made up of? What is that made up of? He goes on deeper and deeper. Then he says, 388. Sahovacha, Yajnavalkya replies, Etadvaitadaksharam Gargi Brahmana Adivadanti. Aksharam means imperishable. It's all perishable. This board is perishable because the name and form will go away. If it is made of wood, it will all become wood. Wood will also perish and will become into some particles. Particles all will become, if you go deeper and deeper, all dissolves into atoms. Atoms also are made up of subatomic particles. Like this, go deeper and deeper. Vedanta takes us deeper and deeper, not being satisfied with the surface knowledge. We only want surface knowledge. We are interested in names and qualities and forms. There our interest stops. But Vedanta says, no, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. That's what Gargi did. Then he says, the Aksharam. Aksharam means a stage will come when the only imperishable remain. Akshara means imperishable. Name and form is not there. Names and forms change. It is like you take 5 ornaments made of gold. There is a necklace made of gold. There is a ring made of gold. There is a what else? Earring made of gold. Some like 3-4 ornaments are there. You ask them, what are these? They say, this is a ring. This is a chain. This is an earring. Like this, we give some name. There are names and forms. What is that made up of? You say gold. Then we are satisfied. Gold is all gold, we say. Then if you say, what is gold made up of? Then you say, gold is made up of some combination of molecules, atoms. Some structure is there. Chemists will give us the details. What is that made up of? If you go, then we don't have any answer. But Vedanta says everything in the whole creation is made up of one basic ingredient, deeper than what science can give. Science will stop at subatomic particle, every waves and energy. That's where all the electrons and everything, they are like particles of energy. They can something like that. I don't know nuclear science. If you go deeper, where Vedanta takes us, it all resolves into one basic ingredient, that's pure consciousness. There is no name, no form. No quality, no good, no bad, no pain, no pleasure, no fear, nothing. Pure consciousness. Only Ananda, total Ananda persists. That is where the Vedanta takes us. We prefer to stay at the surface level. These qualities are appealing to us. Or something is beautiful, something is pleasant to touch, something is pleasant to taste. That's where we are at right now. But Vedanta says, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. Your true nature is there. You are not this. It's only a combination of various things. It's not what you are. You are what you are deep within this consciousness. Go there. That's what this description is. That Akshara means imperishable. Gargi, Brahmana Anivadanti, Brahmana means Nora Brahman, not Brahmana by caste. That's not what is meant. Asthulam, it has no qualities. It is not coarse. Sthulam means coarse or gross. Ananu, it is not fine. The gross and fine distinction of qualities are this level. Ahrasvam Adirgam. Hrasvam means short, Dirgam means long. Long and short are at this level. A person can be a tall person, another person can be a short person, as long as people are concerned. But if you go deeper, all the qualities will disappear. No tall, no short. Adirgham, Alohitam Asneham, Achayam. All this in English I read. It has neither redness nor oiliness, neither shadow nor darkness. It is neither air nor space. It is not sticky, not attached to anything, and is free from taste and odor. Attachment comes when there are two or more things. Attachment comes when there are two or more things. If there is only one, what is attached to what? There is no attachment. When we see multiplicity, there are all these problems. Attachment will come, hatred will come, love will come, desire will come, jealousy will come, anger will come. If you go to the deepest levels, experience the oneness, unity behind everything, then there is no such distinction at all. Absolute total peace. Absolute total peace will be there. That is where we have to be. That's where Vedanta takes us. It is without eyes, ears, organs, or speech. These are parts. There are no parts there, only one. Undifferentiated existence is there. It is non-effulgent, it is without vital force or mouth. It has no measure and is devoid of interior exterior, no inside, no outside. It does not eat anything, nor does anybody eat. Eating means enjoying the object. Eating means not only eating with the mouth. When I see something, I am eating it by looking at it and getting some food to the mind. When I look at somebody or something, what am I doing? I am putting some food into my mind. Oh, this is a beautiful person, this is a tall person, this is the red color, this is blue color. I am putting food into that. Seeing is also like eating. When I hear some sound, I am eating. What I am eating? I am putting some sound into this beautiful music, Carnatic music, Hindustani music, this is filmy music, this is Hindi, Meera Bhajan. I am putting all that thought, that is also eating through the ear. Like this, any sense organ, through any of the five sense organs we can eat, that's called eating. That means object-subject differentiation is there. That object-subject differentiation goes, there is no subject, nobody to see, nobody to be seen. Nobody to hear, nobody to be heard. Nobody to touch, nobody to be touched. All these differentiations will vanish. Total absence of all differentiations, all names and forms. What remains? Pure consciousness. That is Brahman. That's what we are. At that level, absolute peace and calmness. No duality. That's where this Yagnyavalkya described that to Gargi. Now we go to page 5, 389. Etasyava aksharasya prashasane gargi Surichandramasa vidritau tishtataha. Yajnavalkya said, under the rule of this very absolute, prashasana means as ordained by that Brahman. According to his rule, prashasana means rule or order or instruction. Sun shines, moon shines. Suri Chandramasa vidrito tishtata. Etasyava aksharasya prashasane gargi Java prathiva vidrite tishtataha. Heaven and earth exist because of this existence of pure consciousness. Etasyava aksharasya prashasane gargi nimisha muhurta ahoratrani ardhamasa masa gratava sammasra iti virtas tishtanti. Distinctions in time. 1 moment, 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 hour, 24 hours, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. All these distinctions are because there is a substratum which does not have any distinction. How do you measure distinction? How do you measure change? How do you measure something changing? We compare something that is not changing. Supposing you are moving in a car, how do you know you are moving in a car? Because earth is not moving behind you. In relation to earth, car is moving. That's how you measure change. All change is measured in relation to something that is not changing or changing less rapidly. If both things are changing at the same rate, you don't see any change at all. Two trains are moving in the same direction at the same speed, you don't see any movement. But if one train is moving slowly, the other is moving faster, then you see the change. Your train is going faster than the other train. Or there is no other train, earth is there, earth is not moving, the train is moving, so you feel the motion. In the same way, all changes in time and space and quality are all measured in relation to something that is not changing at all in any way. In absolute pure consciousness, there is no change. There is only one thing, nothing to change. Then we go to the, I want to get to this one passage, 3.10. If we don't know that our true nature as pure consciousness, if we lead all our lives in this way that we are leading, good and bad, enjoying, suffering, praise and blame, gain and loss, with this duality, if we spend all our life, then we are wasting a precious gift of human birth. Vivek Shankara says, there are 3 things which are very precious. Durlabham Travemayavetat. What are they? Manushyatvam, human birth, is very precious gift. If you are born as a non-human being, you cannot do anything. Animals cannot read or write, they don't know what is God realization, they are just lead animals. Procreation, eating, sleeping, and then their life is done. But human birth, people can reach the highest goal. The faculty that we have, that animals don't have, plants don't have, is very precious, human birth. And if you don't use it for the purpose for which it is given, then you are squandering away the most precious gift. Manushyatvam, mumukshatvam. Even human beings don't have desire for moksha. Liberation means liberation from the limitations, from name and form and good and bad. Liberation means total experiencing our divine nature as liberation. Free from all limitation. That if we don't have desire, then we are again wasting our time in pursuing this and that, worldly things. Some gaining some money, some fame, some property, some enjoyment, vacation, buying a expensive home or a boat or something. That's how their lives go. That's not. Mumukshatvam must be there. Desire to know the truth must be there. Then, to facilitate that one, we need the help of a Guru. Mahapurusha Samshraya. Those who have at least made some progress in that direction, if not reached the goal, they can guide us and help us. If these 3 things are there, then it is possible to reach the goal. Durlabham Traivamevetat Daivanugrahayetakam. Only by the grace of God these 3 things will accrue to us. We have all those 3 things. We have the guidance of Sri Ramakrishna and other teachers like Ramana Maharshi, or so many teachers. So many teachers are guiding our life. It's left to us to follow their teachings. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Narada Maharshi, Prahlada, so many teachers in our script. They are giving guidance, giving us instruction, do this, you will reach the goal. different path, depending upon our temperament. If we don't use that, we are the losers. Deva, by grace of God, only these three things have been made available to us. Human birth is there, desire for liberation is there, and guidance is available from illumined souls. So the goal must be reached. Now, in this passage, one I want to point out. 3810, this very well. 3810 on page 5. Yova etadaksharam gargi aviditva asmin loke juhoti yajate tapastapyate bahuvani varsha sahasrani antavadevasya tadbhavati. A person, without knowing this absolute truth, absolute reality, Brahman, makes all other kinds of activities, makes tapas, tapati, makes fire offerings, yajnas, performs sacrifices, practices austerities for many thousands of years in this world, finds all that work of only transitory benefit, gives, produce some benefit, then karma phala is also limited because all karma is limited. This is an interesting point that Upanishad says. When we work hard, we get some result. How long will that result last? Finite duration of time. All karma phala is finite in time, in duration and magnitude. Because all karma is finite in duration and magnitude. If this much effort you put in, this much result you get. This much effort you put in, this much effort you get. But there is a limit to the effort we can put in. There is a limit to the what we can do. Therefore, all karma phala, whatever we can achieve by effort is also going to be limited. Whatever is achieved by effort is going to be limited, Upanishad says. Then how do we achieve Brahma Jnana? All effort is only to remove the Jnana. Only to remove the ignorance we have to put in effort. Reaching God is our true nature. We are that even now. We don't have to go anywhere, do anything else. What is masking the ignorance, what is masking the true nature, ignorance, that I am the body, I am the mind, that has to be removed, that is all. For that we need effort. So a person who says, who does all kinds of things, sacrifices and everything, he will get some result, go to heaven, stay there for some 100 years or 200 years. Then when the punya is exhausted, what happens? Comes back to Bhulaka again start from square one. That is not liberation. So he says, Antavadevasya tadbhavati. So all limited accomplishments, all the rituals and services and charity and everything, they produce limited effect. After some time the effect will be exhausted and again you are back to square one. Eva etadaksharam gargi aviditva. Then what are we supposed to do? That's explained in the second part of the 3.8. Eva etadaksharam gargi aviditva asman lokat pradisa kripanaha. Without knowing this aksharam, imperishable nature of our true nature, aviditva, without knowing our true nature, thinking of the body and the mind, if we leave this one, what happens? Then we are wasting one more life cycle. Precious opportunity has been squandered away. Sakripana, kripana means a wretched person. The word kripana comes in the Gita. Kripana phalahetava, 2nd chapter, verse 49. Atha etadaksharam gargi viditva. If we know our true nature, imperishable nature, aksharam viditva, asmal lokat preti, who live this world when we die, then what happens? We know what to do. So Brahmana. Who is a Brahmana? Not somebody necessarily born a Brahmana. That is one way of looking at it. According to Upanishad, a Brahmana is one who leaves this body, who lives this life, dies after knowing his true nature as Brahman. Without knowing that if somebody dies, then he is not a Brahmana. He may be born in any family, doesn't matter, but does not matter. What makes a person Brahmana is, has he achieved his Brahmanhood? Does he know that he is the imperishable Brahman? Then he is a Brahmana. If he does not, no matter what else he does, he may do a lot of charity, he may do a lot of sacrifice, he may do building so many buildings, and whatever he does is of no consequence, limited consequence. There will be some consequence, but not of any lasting value. So he says, who is a Brahmana? Ya etadaksharam gargi viditva. Knowing this imperishable nature, Asmal lokat preti, leaves this world, so Brahmana is a knower of Brahman. Now, we will stop there. Yes, other class will take more time. We wish we had more time to complete some more passages, but for this time we will have to satisfy with this much only.
Is Gargi a disciple of Yagnavalla?
Disciple means, in a way, she was, because she asked for instruction. She asked questions to answer that she either does not know or does not have. In that way, she can be thought to be disciple. But they are all Brahmawadis. Jorgen, all those people there, Ushasta, all those people, they are all seekers of Brahman, that is Brahman. And frequently they used to meet and have discussions about Vedantic topics. In the discussion, whoever was honored was given a lot of cattle and gold coins, gold mohars. And that's how wealth was measured those days. So Yajnavalkya was the most well known of all those people. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, a third of the Upanishad is about Yajnavalkya's teaching. Big part of this Upanishad is Yajnavalkya's teaching. He had discussions with all those other people, and that is about chapters 3 and 4 are called Yajnavalkya Khanda, teachings of Yajnavalkya.
I have this doubt in my mind about Daya.
About?
Daya. How does one differentiate Daya in ordinary life? I can quite understand, but at a level of the political level or at the higher level, crimes are committed. How do you decide what is Daya at that point? In a judicial system, or is it Daya that forms to the community or individual? Or?
Condoning a willful mistake is not Daya. If there is evil committed, then it has to have consequences. You cannot say that because of compassion I will let him go. Then what happens? You will perpetrate. You are helping him to do more things. Society will suffer. So that is not what Daya means. Daya means not harboring any harmful thought towards any being mentally, and not doing any action by deed in a hurtful way, not speaking anything in a hurtful way. By thought, word and speech we have to practice compassion. By speaking also we can cause harm to other people, even without intention. Supposing somebody makes a joke in a group, everybody laughs, but one person in that group may feel insulted or embarrassed or hurt, and this person who said the joke has no intention to hurt anybody but that person. So before we do any action, including speaking, we have to see how it will affect other people. That consideration, sensitivity to other people's feelings, including the feelings of animals and plants, is there. See, supposing I keep this book here. How Daya can be practiced? I can keep it nicely, gently, like this in its place. Good thing. I can throw it like this. That is a hurtful action. The book is not able to tell me, it's not able to speak the way I understand. But if we see the divine consciousness vibrating, pulsating in this book also, then how can I not be compassionate? This happened in the life of Holy Mother, in Sadhana Devi's household, this is a very insignificant incident, nothing very great significance in it, but it has a great message behind it. Holy Mother Sadhana Devi was living in a Jarambati with a lot of other relatives, brothers and their wives and their children, and were all living there. And one day, one of those ladies in the household, she swept the floor. How did they sweep the floor? The floor was covered with cow dung, no concrete or carpet or anything, no vacuum cleaner. Cow dung was the covering surface, floor covering. So sweeping using a broomstick, broom. In India, that's how they. After sweeping the floor, that lady threw the broomstick away carelessly aside. There's nothing great event in this one. Holy Mother noticed that one. Shata Devi noticed. Then she called that lady gently and she said, you should not do that. Even that broomstick has feelings. It is as much a part of this household as you and I are. After using it, keep it in its proper place, clean it and keep it in the proper place for two reasons. One is sheer expediency. Next time when you want to sweep the floor, you don't have to look for it all over the place. Where is the broom? Where is the broom? If you keep it always in the assigned place, you can predictably find where it is. Convenience, one reason. Second reason is, it also has consciousness. We don't see it, it's not able to speak, but everything is pervaded by consciousness. If you are aware of it, if you can see life in it, if you can feel, then you all keep it gently, nicely. So this is how we have to practice compassion at every level. It happened to me. It's a personal, nothing great significant, even of great significance, don't expect anything miraculous. When I was studying in school, I used to have a relative who used to visit our family every now and then. He was a great Vedic scholar. He used to chant Vedas, Dhanapati, very nicely he would chant. When he chanted Vedas, Dhana, whole building was separate, charged with some kind of power. Whenever he came, I would ask him to chant some Veda. I didn't understand anything, but I just enjoyed. So he came, and I was reading a book. When he came, I kept the book like this, and I started talking to him. I didn't think anything about it. He was reading a book, and he came, I talked to him and kept the book like this. He noticed it. After some time, he told me gently, see, you kept the book like this, not the way to keep the book. You should keep the book like this gently, facing upwards. Not a big deal. What is big deal about keeping a book? I kept it inverted like this. I didn't think about it. But he noticed it. He said, keep the book like this. That is the way. Not experiencing, at least trying to feel that everything is pervaded by consciousness. Same universal consciousness is pulsating every moment in everything in this whole of creation, animate and inanimate, good people, bad people. We have to see divine presence in all. This is what Bhagavad Gita says in simpler terms. Chapter 6, verse 30. There Sri Krishna says, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. He who sees me in all, sarvatra mam pashyati. You have to practice seeing the God in everything. This is called practicing the presence of God. The title of a book also, Practice the Presence of God. You have to do that. That's spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna did that. Every time somebody came, he would see the presence of divine in that person. He would see that, actually. So they have that kind, cultivate that kind of vision. Ramana Maharshi saw everything as Brahman. That's why he could not teach anybody. Whom to teach? Who is there to teach? Who is there to learn? All is Brahman only. So that is the truth. Vedanta takes us there. If you stay at this level, everything is different, everything is qualified, good and bad, pain and pleasure, gain and loss, happy and unhappy, anger, jealousy, pride, have sometimes happiness, sometimes peace, sometimes restlessness. We don't want to be stuck at this. We have to go to the deepest level. This is where the Upanishad takes us. Closing prayer. So go to the last page. Evening program, Susmita ji.
Yes, Mother. Evening is puja.
What time?
Puja at 6. 6:30.
6:30.
6:30?
Yeah.
First Arati and then Puja?
No,
like the last time, like we will sing in between, like you said you will do something, then we'll sing.
Okay.
So we can sing the Arati when doing the Khandana Bhava, doing the Arati. Then if you ask, then we can do Brahmarupam, Adi, Madhya, that we can do.
During the Puja also we can do
Yeah,
food offering.
that's what I'm saying.
Then there can be a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Om Rim Ritam we can do. So I will
We start at 6:30?
6:30 Maharaj.
Okay.